Good evening, Portage County, and welcome to another edition of Sports Corner. I'm Austin Arnold.
And I'm Ian Herrmann.
A battle of number one teams in the MAC East and MAC West. Who would be the outright number one team? To Dick's Stadium we go. Kent State flashes going up against the Northern Illinois Huskies, and Rocky Lombardi, the Michigan State transfer, getting it started off early to Trayvon Rudolph for a 36-yard touchdown, 7-0 Huskies from there. But Dustin Crum, he would answer and respond with an 8-yard quarterback run, cuts the lead to 14-10 at this point in the game. And then Dustin Crum, he can do it in all assets of this game. He gets a 39-yard run, 24-21. The Flashes go ahead and take the lead in the second quarter, getting some help from Jack Bailey, his offensive lineman there in the end zone. And Nakeem Johnson, 14-yard sweep, extending this lead to 38-21 Kent State. But Rocky Lombardi, Lombardi's a name of greatness, a great last name, and he finds Rudolph again for a 34-yard touchdown, cuts the lead to 38-27 Kent State. But Marquez Cooper, Wale the rapper has been tweeting about him lately, and rightfully so. 36-yard touchdown to ice this game. Kent State wins 52-47. Here's Sean Lewis after the game.
Great win. We'll take it. That was a lot of fun. Good to go and have a marquee primetime matchup, and for the boys to respond. I thought it was great the way that the guys settled into the game. We knew it was going to be a four-quarter fight. Something about the beauty of action, to where you're going to get points, you're going to get action, and it's going to be a four-quarter battle. And our guys, found a way to continue to stay undefeated at home. Might be some magic in those powder blues. I don't know what it is, but I'll take it. And it's great to be sitting alone atop the East, and to have a little bit of time to soak up the win tonight, and then go forward and learn from it, grow from it, be better as we head up to face a really good Central Michigan team.
Let's go ahead now and take a look at the MAC East standings. Kent State at the top of the world at 4-1. Miami of Ohio 3-2. Buffalo is at 2-3, along with Ohio, who are at 2-3. And then Bowling Green and Akron sit at the bottom of the MAC East at 1-4. So now we go ahead and talk about Central Michigan, Kent State. This game, it's going to be great on Wednesday. Ian, out of this game in general with Northern Illinois, what did you think was the most noticeable thing about these Golden Flashes?
I think, it was a rough start for the Golden Flashes in this game against Northern Illinois. It looked like the Huskies were just going to drive down the field, go all over Kent State. Flashes couldn't do anything on offense. But, that defense stepped up. They got turnovers like they have been all year. And then Dustin Crum in that offense, they picked it up in that second quarter, scoring over 30 points. Dustin Crum, several rushing touchdowns, passing touchdowns. He showed up. And that defense, I think, was the turning point again in this game and causing turnovers. And Kent State not having a single turnover in the game as well. That's how they've been able to win their games. Yeah, and for Northern Illinois, it's not like they didn't play a bad game. Rocky Lombardi, 532 yards passing with 3 touchdowns. And Trayvon Rudolph had 309 receiving yards with 3 touchdowns. But the Kent State defense all year long, when they've been able to play well, it's been when they've needed to make those stops. They did it against Buffalo, Ian. They did it against OU. This defense just finds ways to help this offense out. And that's why I think this Kent State team could be making a serious run to Detroit. Here's Sean Lewis about this Central Michigan game coming up here on Wednesday.
And now the sole focus, we got to re-lock in, right? Get our minds back right, and everything gets dialed in towards another championship effort and another championship performance, against a really dangerous and a really good team in Central Michigan going up there. Always hard in this conference to play on the road. And we got to have a great week of preparation to go do it again.
Now time for our picks. I have Kent State winning 48-40. The Flashes showed this past week they can play with the best in the MAC, and I believe they are now the front runners for the MAC championship. Central Michigan is not a bad team either, though. They have a good run defense, which is why I think this will be a close game. However, Dustin Crum proves again that he's the best quarterback in the MAC, and that run game continues to dominate, and so I don't see Kent State losing this one.
And you go ahead and point on the fact that they are having a great run defense, and they're third in the MAC out of 12 teams. That's a pretty good run defense to have, but 51-42 is what I have. Kent State has proven to me this year that when you think they're going to lose the games that they may lose, they find ways to win. And they've been winning games at a great clip. They've been scoring at a high offensive clip. 51-42 is what I have. I have them going into Mount Pleasant, getting it done, and maybe positioning themselves for a very good chance to go to the MAC championship. they just kind of control their own destiny at that point. Let's go ahead now to some Kent State soccer. After a spectacular and unprecedented season, the Kent State women's soccer team took on Bowling Green in the MAC championship game, but unfortunately the number 1 seed prevailed, winning 3-1 against the Flashes, who went into the season not expecting to make the playoffs at all. The team finished the season 13-5-3, and 3 players finished in the season by receiving all tournament honors: sophomore midfielder Julia Giovinazzi, senior forward Cameron Schudenhelm, and then senior defender Carly Hellstrom. They all received honors.
And the Kent State field hockey team came to an end this weekend. The team fell to Longwood 1-0 in the MAC tournament semifinals. After a scoreless first 3 quarters, the Lancers put in the lone goal off a deflected penalty corner early in the 4th quarter. Although they fell short of the NCAA tournament bid, Kent State finished with 12 conference wins, their most since 2016, and won the regular season conference title. Goalie Azure Fernsler and senior Clara Rodriguez-Cito were named to the All-MAC tournament team. The team will look to build on this year's success next season. And the Kent State wrestling team had an impressive opening weekend at the Clarion Invitational, being led by junior Lewis Knoll, who went 5-1 on the day and placed 5th for the Flashes. Heavyweight sophomore Andy Garcia finished the weekend 3-2. Blake Krisman also racked up a pair of wins for the heavyweights. The freshman Flashes also had a strong performance with Enrique Munguia and Robert Prihaki. Both went 2-2 in their debuts. The Flashes are back in action when they head to North Carolina to compete in the Appalachian State Open on Sunday.
The Golden Flashes volleyball team lost to their Mid-American Conference leader Bowling Green 3-0 on Saturday. Savannah Matthews led Kent State with 11 kills and 1 ace, followed by Taylor Heberly with 8 kills and 2 blocks. And senior Lana Strachak had a season-high 6 blocks as well. The Golden Flashes will return to the MAC Center for the final 3 matches of the season, starting with a 2-match series against Miami Friday, November 12th, and Saturday, November 13th. And when we come back, we have second-round high school playoff action from around Northeast Ohio. Stick around. We will be right back.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year, 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 88. I'm Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Kent State's most generous annual tradition, Giving Tuesday, is here. Golden Flashes are known for giving back, and this month, your generosity goes even further with matching gifts, incentives, and challenges. Join in by supporting the fund that matters most to you. At Kent State, what sets us apart is how we come together.
Welcome back to Sports Corner. St. Ignatius was in town playing Stowe. Let's check out the highlights from the game. And here we are, St. Ignatius visiting Stowe, playoff football. Marty Lenahan, he'll roll to his right, dump it off to Joey Pfaff, and he'll go in untouched. The Wildcats are up 7-0 early on. And now Wildcats back on offense. Joey George, he'll take the handoff. He's got a hole, and he's got plenty of space. He'll go untouched into the end zone. That's 35 yards. That's a touchdown. And Ignatius is up 14-0. And now the Ignatius back on offense. Lenahan play action. He'll unload, throw deep to an open Max Musion, and he makes the catch, runs, and is stopped just short of the goal line after a big 53-yard gain. And after that, Joey George will get his second touchdown of the game, 4 yards out. He'll get in. Ignatius is rolling up 28-0. However, Stowe, they'll get some points on the board now. Nate Boozer, he's making defenders miss. Throw deep to a wide-open Braden Gable for 6 points. Ignatius up 28-6. And now Sean Martin, he'll get in on the action. He gets a short touchdown run there. Ignatius, they win it big, 42-12.
Streetsboro Rockets taking a trip up north to Chardon, Ohio. Chardon, the number 1 team in Division III football. And Andrew Bruce, at the end of the first quarter, a 15-yard run into the end zone, putting the Hilltoppers up 7-0 at this point in time. But this was just an amazing second quarter for the Hilltoppers. Sean Carr, 19 yards out, and finds his way into the end zone, keeping Chardon in front. And then Alex Henry, the replacement, people have said, for their old former quarterback, Andrew Fetchick. He goes and scores there for a 25-yard run. And then Sean Carr yet again from 18 yards out. The Hilltoppers at this point, they were just scoring at a high rate, but there was no shutout in Chardon. Mason Climack, he gets it to Preston Hopperton for the touchdown. And then Charlie Clark in garbage time for the Hilltoppers. He scores a touchdown. 63-7 is the final. Chardon plays Canfield on Friday at Girard Stadium. Let's get to some playoff football scores. Chardon 63-7. St. Ignatius won 42-12 against Stowe. Garfield, they beat Belair over the weekend 44-14. And then Kirtland beat Manchester 37-0.
Good evening, Portage County. I'm Della Fowler here with some playoff Ohio high school football.
Okay, Della, the Chardon versus Streetsboro game was an absolute blowout, especially for playoff football. Why is this quite a dilemma for Streetsboro fans?
You know, Streetsboro held up some incredible defense for most of the game with the exception of the second quarter. In the second quarter alone, the Hilltoppers scored 42 points. Now, it is important to note that Chardon came into this game still undefeated, but that Rockets defense held them to only a touchdown per quarter, besides that ultra-powerful second quarter.
And another undefeated team is Garfield. How do they stay undefeated this week?
You know, along with being undefeated last year in the regular season and a tough loss in the playoffs, Garfield's star running back Anthony Della came in to lead them to another undefeated run so far. This week, they totaled a total of 450 yards and to win 44 over 14 to Bel Air.
Della, Stowe suffered quite a big loss to St. Ignatius by losing by 30 points for finishing first in their division. What happened in this game against St. Ignatius?
The run game for St. Ignatius was insane, especially in the third quarter. Their quarterback, Joey Pfaff, went 13 for 27 and totaled 227 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 beautiful interception. St. Ignatius will play an arguable favorite to win it all, the undefeated Medina High School football team. We'll see you next week with a lot more Ohio high school playoff football. I'll send it back to Austin and Ian at the desk.
Thank you, Della. Let's now head to the big noon college Saturday big kickoff. It was Ohio State, Nebraska, and C.J. Stroud early finds Chris Olave to put up the Buckeyes 10-0 in the first quarter off a 3-yard touchdown. And then Stroud finds Jackson Smith in Jigba for a 75-yard touchdown down the sideline. And no, the Huskers cannot catch him. 17-13 Buckeyes in the second quarter. But Adrian Martinez would have an answer. He hits Samori Torrey for a 72-yard touchdown. That will cut the Buckeyes lead to 17-10. Was there an upset brewing in Nebraska? Martinez, he'll run in for the touchdown from 1 yard out. Makes it 23-17. But Noah Ruggles, he would ice this game. 46-yard field goal. The kick is good. Puts the Buckeyes up 9 at this point. But Nebraska, they're trying to find something at the end. Steele Chambers would steal this pass and get an interception. Buckeyes won 26-17.
Now another Big Ten game. Michigan State at Purdue, second quarter. Aiden O'Connell back in the end zone. That's a touchdown to Brock Thompson. What a catch. Purdue is up 14-7 now. Boilermakers back on offense. They're getting tricky with a bunch of flea flickers. O'Connell back to Jackson Anthrop. He's got a convoy of blockers in front of him, trying to make a move to the end zone. He's cutting down the field, making defenders miss, and he could go all the way. And he will do just that. Big touchdown there. Purdue's up 21-7. But Michigan State, they're coming back with a fight. At the end of the half, give your ball to your best player, let him work, and Kenneth Walker does just that. Down the sideline, he's in. Purdue up just 21-14. Now to the third quarter, Spartans, they're trying to tie it up. Peyton Thorne, he'll do just that. Takes the quarterback keeper, makes men miss, and he's in for a touchdown. We got a tie game at 21. Now to the fourth quarter, Michigan State needs this touchdown to stay in the game, but it is picked off by Dedrick Mackey, and the Spartans are on upset alert here. Now, with just under a minute to go, Purdue, they'll add another field goal to their score, and they'll win it 40-29. They had yet another upset on their belt this year.
And now we head to homecoming at Cincinnati. This was against Tulsa University, and Desmond Ritter, he'll get the party started with a 3-yard touchdown on third and goal, makes it 7-0 Bearcats, and then Shamari Brooks, he'll get the handoff here. He'll run left, and he will score to cut the lead to 14-9 for the Hurricane. And then Ritter, he'd find his man Alex Pierce for a 40-yard gain on 1st and 10 early in the third quarter. I would be remiss if Alex Pierce did not score this touchdown, says Desmond Ridder. And guess what? He does. He finds Pierce again the ensuing play. 21-12 Bearcats at this point in time. Ridder, he'd find Michael Young Jr. for a 31-yard touchdown to extend that Cincinnati lead to 28-12. But after a costly Cincinnati fumble, Tulsa at the Cincinnati 1, they fumble it. It is recovered by Cincinnati in the end zone, 28-20. Bearcats pull out the win.
And when we return, we've got all the action from the NFL over the weekend. Stay with us.
Can we get strawberries? Okay.
Welcome back to the show. We'll jump into this one. Ravens and Vikings on Sunday in Baltimore. We'll pick it up in the first quarter. There's Lamar Jackson hosting the Vikings. In the first quarter, Vikings on third down. Kirk Cousins, he has the ball. He's looking, and he'll throw deep to a wide open Justin Jefferson. He'll score easily. The Vikings are up 7-3. Now to the second quarter, Minnesota looking for another one. Dalvin Cook into the end zone. That's a touchdown. They push their lead to 14-3. Right at the end of the first half, Lamar, he wants a touchdown. He will throw it to Devonta Freeman, and that makes it, cuts their lead in half. Now the third quarter, Ravens fourth down. Patrick Ricard, he scores a touchdown. 24-17 Vikings lead. And we'll cut to the Chargers-Eagles game.
And yes, we will cut to the Chargers-Eagles game indeed. Justin Herbert, he'll find Steven Anderson for a 2-yard touchdown to make it 7-0. Chargers are in the first. And then Jordan Howard, he would punch it in for the Eagles on a 4-yard run to make it a 7-7 tie. This game was close all game long. Herbert finds Donald Parham Jr., 8-yard stiffy, touchdown Chargers, makes it 16-10. And then Kenneth Gainwell, he'll answer it right back for the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly, question mark. It's 17-16 in Lincoln Financial Field. But I would be remiss. The herbs and the spices for the touchdown. Justin Herbert with an 8-yard run makes it 24-17. Jalen Hurts finds his old college teammate Devonta Smith, and he gets into the end zone right here, makes it 24-all. But the former Washington football team kicker Dustin Hopkins has a little treat for Eagles fans. It's good. 27-24, Chargers win.
Now we will head to Jerry's World where the Broncos were in town taking on the Cowboys. Look at the first quarter. Teddy B, he gives it to Melvin Gordon. He finds his way into the end zone. Broncos up 6-0 after a missed PAT. Now to the second quarter, Broncos on offense again. Bridgewater will look deep, and he'll throw deep on the left side to Tim Badger. Makes a great catch, dives into the end zone. That's a touchdown. Broncos up 13-0. Now to the fourth quarter, it's all Broncos in this one. Bridgewater, Kendall hitting over the middle. Make a big gain deep into the red zone of the Cowboys. And after that big gain, several plays later, Teddy B, 1 yard out, gets it in, and that's a touchdown. Denver dominating. They're up 27-0 after 2-point conversion. And Dallas won't go quietly, though. Dak, he'll float one back of the end zone to Malik Turner for the touchdown. Cowboys down 30-8 after the 2-point conversion. And Dallas again, with a minute to go, Dak, he'll hit Turner again, this time at the beginning of the end zone for another score. Broncos, they go into Dallas, and they win it 30-16.
Good evening, Portage County. I'm Matt Corrali. After a Week 8 loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers in Cleveland on Sunday, the Browns went into another divisional rival game with the Cincinnati Bengals at 4-4, and in some cases, their season on the line as their playoff chances looked bleak, and with the loss to the Bengals, even bleaker. It also doesn't help that there was off-the-field drama involving wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr., which led to him being officially released today. Will Cleveland put all that in the rearview mirror and get a desperately needed win on the road? Let's head to the Queen City to find out. We pick it up with Burrow and the Bengals facing a 3rd and goal as he looks to pass, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Denzel Washington Ward, and he takes flight. Ward will take this 99 yards to the house as one former Buckeye throws a pick to another in the 2021 Cincinnati Battle of Ohio. It's 7-0 Browns. Next series for the Bengals, it'll be a 2nd and 1 as they'll pitch it to Joe Mixon. And Mixon mixes up the Cleveland defense on the far side for a score. That ties the game at 7 as Mixon breaks out a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air celly in the end zone. But the real prince at halfback on this day was Nick Chubb as he takes it up the middle to get the lead back for the Browns. It's 14-7. On the next drive, Mayfield goes under center. Here's the snap. He'll fake the handoff to Chubb. He drops back to pass. He'll air it out for the People's champ, Donovan Peoples-Jones. He hauls it in. 60-yard score as number 6 is fielding right at home in the Queen City. And in the 3rd, Nick Chubb will get the handoff on the left side, has a little bit of room, and boom! He will take this all the way as he turns on the Jets. It's a 70-yard scamper as he finds the Browns home on this day, the end zone, as the Browns save their season with a 41-16 must-needed win in the first Battle of Ohio on the season.
Okay, Matt, what was different about the game against the Bengals in the game of the week before against Pittsburgh?
Well, what went different for the Browns was every aspect of the team looked like the Browns in November and December of last season. The offense was clicking on all cylinders as the Browns aired it out to success, and the run game, led by Nick Chubb, had their fair share of big plays. The defense got to Joe Burrow seemingly every play, and the secondary, which had its question marks all year long, had its best performance of the year, which was punctuated by a Denzel Ward 99-yard pick 6.
Do you believe that the Browns saved their season with this win?
I believe they did, Ian, and that is the reason why is because of the road ahead. If the Browns were to lose, they would have gone under 500 and have to face the likes of the Patriots, the Ravens, twice in 3 weeks, mind you, the Raiders, Packers, Steelers, and Bengals the rest of the way. That would have been a lot of ground to make up, and with the way this Browns team won in Cincinnati, that performance gives them a lot more confidence that they could beat anyone that comes across their path with ease.
And Matt, how does this shape up the AFC North, and what do the Browns need to do to win the division from here on out?
Well, Austin, this now shapes the AFC North as a coin flip as to anyone can take it. What the Browns need to do to take their first division crown in this millennium is to win the games in their division, plain and simple.
Okay, thank you, Matt. And we'll go to Madison Square Garden where the Cavs are in town taking on the Knicks. We'll pick it up in the 2nd quarter. Julius Randle making some moves on Evan Mobley, and he dunks that home. Give the Knicks a 2-point lead. Now to the 3rd quarter. Jetty, he'll pass to Evan Mobley. Gives it to Ricky Rubio, who could not miss in this game. He drains a 3 there. Rubio had himself a career day with 37 points. 4th quarter, Rubio with the ball. Draws the double team wide open. Mobley, he drains that 3. And several possessions later, Rubio with the ball again. Just let him work. He'll fade to his left. Swish that one. He was 8 for 9 from 3 in the game. Now New York with the ball. Emmanuel quickly, he's making some moves on Jetty, and he'll lob it up to Obi Toppin, who slams that home. Knicks are down 7. Now Rubio with the ball again, and let him work. He pump fakes, drains the 3. Cavs up 10. Now Rubio again. He has the ball. He'll give it to Darius Garland, who'll get a wide open 3 of his own. And the Cavs win big at MSG, 126-109.
Ian, I mean, the Cavs, they've won 4 straight games. They're 7-4. They sit 6th in the Eastern Conference. Although Colin Sexton is out 4 to 7 weeks with the torn meniscus, despite that, do you still think the Cavs are in a positive direction? Can they still right this ship without him?
Of course. Evan Mobley, as a rookie, he's looked great. Jarrett Allen, shooting 60%, just won Player of the Month in the East. He's looking great. Darius Garland, he's facilitating well. I mean, Ricky Rubio, he filled in for Colin Sexton, went off last night. You love to see that every now and then from Rubio. I have no problems with how this Cavs team is playing. Better than anyone expected. Only this East wasn't so tough right now, but the Cavs are playing great basketball.
And Jarrett Allen, he won Eastern Conference Player of the Week, mind you. He just got that award today. Cavs' next game is Wednesday at 7 p.m. on Volley Sports Ohio, where they take on the 7-3 Washington Wizards.
And when we come back, we'll have our award-winning segments, My Stardom or Sit 'em, Austin's Magic Moneyline, and our men on the Silver Mountain. Stay tuned.
Your favorite weekly music show just got even better. We are now online serving all the needs of your favorite music media. You can check out our site for editorials and reviews from our writing staff featuring headline news and stellar illustrations from our design team. In the mood for your favorite artists? Check out links to our past episodes on this new and brilliant site. We are now one click away at KentCoreTV2.com. We are Kent Core. We are music-driven media.
Welcome back, everybody. You know what time it is. Let's get to the Magic Money Line, shall we? Got a great slate of games for you guys. Tonight, I have the Suns minus 150 over the Sacramento Kings. The Kings, every time they beat a team this year, they've been like, just an above average team or just below average. I mean, the Suns are just a better team. And I was talking about the Kings, obviously, there. I have the Suns minus 150. I have the Browns plus 105 against the Patriots. They were underdogs going into the Bengals game, and they're underdogs going into this Patriots game. I know the Patriots have won 3 of their last 4, but the Browns, they just look like a better team without Odell Beckham Jr. And then finally, Kent State, they are a plus 110 underdog over Central Michigan right now. They were an underdog going into that last game against Northern Illinois. I'd say hammer Kent State this week.
Now my stardom sit-em. I continue to stay hot with my picks. Michael Pittman had another great week, and Marvin Jones did not have a good week. Let's hope to keep it rolling. I say start Devontae Booker if Saquon is still hurt, obviously. He continues to show he can do a great job as his replacement. If we're being honest, at times looks better in that backfield. Sit Julio Jones. He is not what the Titans expected him to be when they traded for him. He's averaging just 4 targets a game. Ryan Tannehill seems to like A.J. Brown much better. My man on the silver mound, I mentioned him earlier, Cavs sharpshooter Ricky Rubio. Team have Rubio could not miss from the field, especially from 3. Colin Sexton got hurt, as we mentioned. Rubio had to step in and log a lot more minutes than he usually does, and he did not disappoint. 37 points, a career high, 13 of 19 from the field, 8 of 9 from 3. And on top of all that, Rubio is the first player in NBA history to come off the bench and have 30-plus points, 10-plus assists, and 8-plus threes. As well, the Cavs, they continue to roll, and the East should be on high alert.
Remember the Tennessee Titans, am I right? Let's just give a round of applause to Mike Vrabel and this Titans coaching staff. They made Matthew Stafford look like just like a normal human last night. The defense forced 2 interceptions from the Rams quarterback, and on top of that, the offense scored 28 on the Rams' elite defense. And I mentioned Adrian Peterson scored a touchdown last night too. The Titans are legit and have won 5 straight games since losing to the New York Jets, and the Titans square off against the New Orleans Saints next Sunday at 1 p.m. That should be a good one. Both teams are riding high, as the Titans, they're 7-2, and the Saints, I think, are 5-3 after their loss to the Falcons. But right now it's 7-0 Steelers on Monday Night Football. Najee Harris scoring that touchdown for Pittsburgh. It's a huge divisional game for the Steelers. Divisional game is in, they need to place better in the divisional standings than, if they lose this game. So, Ian, 7-0 right now for the Steelers and the Bears.
I agree. If the Steelers want to keep up in this tight AFC North division, they got to win this game. I think they'll be able to do it. Bears offense is they're struggling with Justin Fields. I like Justin Fields, but the Bears just can't seem to get it done right now. I have the Steelers winning this one. I think they'll win it pretty handily.
I think the Steelers are going to win it too. It's my good friend Gabe Kalura. He has said Steelers by more than 3 scores, and I believe that's going to be the case. But for now, that is all the time we have here for Sports Corner tonight. Thank you to everybody watching the show. From all of us here at TV2 and all of us here from Sports Corner, I'm Austin Arnold.
And I'm Ian Herrmann.
Thank you guys so much, and we will see you next week.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.